Oh my gosh. Like, it's so important to make babies with good men, great men. So I saw this little boy in the hallway and he acknowledges me. So important. There's so many grown men who won't even acknowledge a woman when they see her. He said, hello. So nice. I said, hello. You know, and that is important to teach a man or a young child. He was probably like 10, little boy, because women kind of feel nervous in a man's presence, like, am I safe? But when he acknowledges her and she can hear his tone of voice and she can kind of like get a read of him, that will calm her. It's like one time I was walking in Miami and there were these like men walking and it was at nighttime, so of course I was kind of nervous. So they like, what did they do? I can't even remember. I know it made me feel super duper safe. I think it's like they were like walking towards me maybe, and like obviously I looked nervous. So they just like stopped, moved to the side so that I could pass, and then like let me go. I don't know exactly what it was that they did. The action isn't what matters. It was the feeling that the action gave me. Like, just like making their presence known, them seeing that I was aware of their presence, that I was nervous, and then making them feel safe. Like, it's an awareness that men have of women, and then a consciousness to know, like, I'm the stronger gender, and so let me, like, make sure that she feels safe in this moment, because I know that she's probably intimidated and she's scared, or even, like, I went to a music festival, and, like, the man next to me, I don't even know him, but I could tell that he was, like, kind of, like, shifting different ways to make sure that I didn't get stepped on without even knowing me. Like, he's just aware that there's a woman next to him and that we're in a crowd, and he didn't want me to get trampled because he knows he's the stronger gender. And like, that's what I love the most about men. Like, they're just so hyper aware of women. They're so sweet, they're so protective, like they're so wonderful, right? So anyways, the little boy in the hallway, first he acknowledges my presence. He says hello. So beautiful, so well spoken. I'm like, wow, what a great little boy. And then when the elevator comes, he gestures for me to go first. A perfect gentleman. And when it was time for us, when the elevator opened to let us out, once again, he gestures for me to go out, and he says, have a good day. And it was just such a small thing, but I was like, wow, like, you can tell that he has positive male role models in his life. Like, that's not even just something that a mother can teach her child. Of course, I'm sure she instills that, but you can tell that he's seen his father and uncles demonstrate this behavior, and he comes from a good bloodline. Like, you could, like, literally just from this little interaction, I could tell all of this. I was like, wow. I was so impressed by this little boy. I was like, what a man. What a man, what a man. Just this little boy, probably 10 years old. It was so sweet. And I was just like, wow, like, women are really the gatekeepers of our DNA, and it's so important that we're choosing to mate with stand-up quality men. And me and my girlfriend a couple days ago, we were talking about, the state of the black race, black affairs, black this, black that, and how, like, a lot of women are not even expecting marriage from men, and, the baby mama epidemic and all of that, which is just so heartbreaking to see. And it's just like, why are you having children with this man that you don't like, you don't respect, he doesn't like you? Like, it's really sad. And then to go off of that, I earlier made a video talking about like the golden retriever dad, the super dad, the airport dad thing, and how like, yeah, like that is cool, that is nice, we love that, we love a man who is an active parent, obviously. But I feel like y'all are telling on yourselves sometimes when you're like idolizing that, because like perhaps you didn't have a dad. Perhaps you've never witnessed a man being a stand-up man, because like literally, duh, they're like, yeah, and then he like made sure his wife was comfortable and then he was watching the kids. Like, yeah, duh, like that's what dads do. Like, duh. And of course, like I have witnessed a dad who goes like above and beyond, and then like I talked a little bit about how my dad really isn't the above and beyond guy. Like, he's a really great dad, he's amazing, but he's not the like what's an example? Like, he's not the like clean off everybody's car. He's not the, take me to Neiman Marcus to go on a shopping spree dad. Like, that's just not him. But he is the like make sure my car gets fixed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's a really good dad, but he's not just like over the top. And honestly, maybe this is a limiting belief, maybe this is coming from a place of hurt, but I just feel like maybe sometimes those dads are overcompensating for something. Like something's not right. Like I just don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Maybe they're not. I don't know. But like I really like alpha dad. And so I was thinking today, like a non-negotiable for me is like I feel like the most beautiful woman in every room. Period. And it's the facts because I said it is. Like beauty is subjective, but I make myself up. I carry myself with such elegance, such class that I know I'm that girl. In every room I walk into, I feel like the most beautiful girl in the room. Period. It's a non-negotiable that I must be with a man who feels like the strongest, toughest man in every room. In every single room, he's like, these people do not want the smoke. They don't want to smoke. He will die about it. He will die about it. He will die about me. He will die about his family. He will die about his honor. And of course, like I love me a good white collar man who has lawyers and, you know, he has a lot to lose. He's not just out here getting into street fights. Like I don't like a ghetto man. I never liked a ghetto man. That's not for me. It's not ghetto, but it's like if it came down to it, he would die about it. And he has no fear in his heart. Like nobody would step to him. Nobody. It's not even about he's the tallest one in the room, the biggest one in the room, the richest one in the room. But no matter what, he's going to carry himself like he's that guy. He's that guy, period. It's a non-negotiable. And as I was on my hypergamous journey and I was wanting to date for money, I was really neglecting the spiritual hypergamy and all these other traits that I respect and admire. And I was only dating a man who I felt like would have the money. But it turns out if you date for the spiritual hypergamy, the money is always there. But you don't want someone who is morally poor and financially rich. He has to be morally rich. He has to have that guy energy. And so I've spent the past year of my life dating men who I could never respect and I could never admire. These little man energy. Like, he just, like, to me, and I know this is a blanket statement. This is horrible to say because all humans are worthy of respect. But to me, like, I could never bow down to this man. He's just a punk to me, like. And I would just advise you to be careful with your hypergamous dating journey. Be careful when you're dating for money. Yes, of course, he has to be financially there. But if you date for the morals, the money will be there. Because it's just like, a man who's easily finessed is not a man who's worthy of respect. A man who other men look at as a simp, and not losers. Like, I know we saw like that one TikTok thing with the guy being interviewed and he bought his wife a $35,000 ring. He was an alpha male. Like, he wasn't a simp. A simp is more like sending $2,000 to a girl you never met. Having an OnlyFans subscription. That's simp behavior. You know what I mean? Like, just, you know, letting someone like urinate on you or like smelling someone's used underwear. That's simp behavior. Stay far away from those men. Those men are disgusting. And they're basically animals. They're barely even human. Like, they're not very evolved. They're not high vibrating, and they're only lowering your vibration. Spend time with that guy, high quality man. Like, and when you're dating that guy, like that guy, first of all, it says about you as a woman and the confidence that you have in yourself and the way that you know, like what you feel that you're worthy of. You're not intimidated by a guy who has it together. So that's something. And then two, it can't go wrong. Even if you guys don't fall in love and get married, there's always something to gain by being in close proximity to men like that. Men who just have an air of power and sophistication. You know, there's always something to gain, whether it's his network. If you don't marry him, you might marry his friend. You know what I mean? Because men like that keep good people around them. Like, there's just always something to gain. Do not surround yourself with losers because you're not a loser. Period. Love you guys.